Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome to 2026. It is me, your girl, BrittReacts, and this one comes highly requested via several subscribers. This is the Fat Files, Anger Issues, and Fried Chicken, the life of Colonel Sanders. I can't believe I just said that.
You are now tuned into BrittReacts.
There is absolutely nothing that is going to prepare you for how crazy this story actually is.
Wow.
Today we're talking about Colonel Sanders, yes,
What a
the
cutie.
KFC guy. Okay, according to a 2010 study, only 40% of Americans between the ages of 19 and 25 knew that Colonel Sanders was a real person. And even less people know that he was a complete gangster his entire life. Okay, most people don't realize this, but the sweet elderly Southern gentleman from the KFC logo didn't start selling Kentucky Fried Chicken till he was 66 years old. Prior to that, he had done every job under the sun. He worked for the railroad. He used to be a lawyer until he lost his law license for beating up his own clients in open court. He used to be involved in turf wars with bootleggers and oil companies during the Great Depression. He has been in, won, and is undefeated in gunfights. He is a notorious adulterer that once bragged that he was still getting laid at 83 years old. This dude cussed so much that KFC had to heavily edit every TV and radio ad spot he ever did.
Go f yourself.
Hey, here's what I will say about that last part. People who like curse a lot are hilarious. They're witty. They're just quick thinking. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like some people are funnier when they curse. That's just me. Also, do y'all remember when I called this movie Weatherman instead of Anchorman, and y'all flamed me up for weeks about it? Anyway, I do love this movie. I'm in a glass box of emotion, and Ron Burgundy is my bestie. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The rattling off of jobs or whatever that is insane. Like beating someone up in the courtroom that was your client is crazy. But if he cursed a lot, it means he probably was super charismatic as far as I'm concerned.
Edit every TV and radio ad spot he ever did.
Go f yourself, San Diego. Nice work, everyone.
And I could keep going, but we're going to cover all of it in the story right after a word from our sponsor.
Oh.
Delete me. Can you settle the
There
debate?
she is.
What? Which 9 mils better?
Okay, I'm going to mute. You guys know delete me, but I'll keep it running. Someone recently, I think it was like a day or two ago, maybe on Instagram, or maybe it was like a comment. I can't remember here on YouTube, but someone said that Mrs. Fat Electrician loves the WNBA. And if you know me, you know the vibes. So it's just like another reason why we should be friends. Honestly, like we should be friends, guys. And just so y'all know, I did reach out to the Unsub podcast, but they were touring when I was in San Antonio. So I didn't think it was going to work out, and it didn't. But we can keep hoping. It's a whole new year, isn't it?
Feed you ads, and that's how that company makes money since their service is free, or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to whoever buys it, and next thing you know, you're getting 17,000 robocalls every single day. And that's where Delete Me comes in. They will look through all the major data brokers and find the ones that are selling your personal information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and then they are legally obligated to comply. And then they'll continue to monitor these data brokers, and if they get your information again, Delete Me will submit an opt-out request again. Basically, you're paying Delete Me to get rid of all the downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. Our story begins on September 9th, 1890 in Henryville, Indiana, when a young Harlan Sanders is born on a farm. He is the oldest of 3 siblings, and like pretty much every other story I've ever told of somebody that was born in the 18 or 1900s, he had a really rough childhood with a lot of manual labor. Just wasn't a good time all around. At the age of 5 years old, his father passes away, and his mother has to step up and be the breadwinner for the whole family. So she's always gone working at a factory in town, and
he's raising his
Harlan
siblings.
basically has to raise his younger siblings by himself. Literally starts
Tale as old as time, true as it can be.
cooking all the food for the family at 5 years old. Fast forward, he's
That's foreshadowing right there. He's cooking all the food for the family.
12 years old. Harlan's mother finds a new husband. They get married. Harlan and the stepdad
Don't get along. I didn't write this story. Don't call me a psychic. How much they don't get along? How much you want to bet? The stepdad is whooping on somebody or something. Watch.
Do not get along whatsoever. Shortly after this, he leaves home at the age of 12. For the next
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
4 years, he just kind of bums
I've also had 2 stepdads in my life.
around the area, working on farms, doing manual labor jobs, and then at the age of 16, he falsifies his birth certificate to join the army, gets in, deploys to Cuba, serves his entire enlistment, and then comes back home. While in the army, he picks up the habit of, as he puts it, cussing like a sailor, using excessive profanity. People later in his life said he couldn't go a single sentence without including the term goddamn.
Again, that means he's funny. And I'm a Christian girly, you know what I mean? But I love a tequila and I love a good curse word every now and then. I'm just saying. Jesus loves me. This I know. What's happening? Oh, The Office.
In his own autobiography, he said, and I quote, "I used to cuss the prettiest you ever heard." So 18 years old, goes back home, gets a job with the railroad, starts traveling all over the country, working for the railroad.
Okay, let's track the jobs. So he was the family chef and nanny, if you will. We have enlisted in the army, and now he works for the railroads. We have 3 jobs. We're going to count
While
that
he's
as
on the
3.
road, he meets a woman by the name of Josephine King. They wind up getting married, start having kids. So Josephine's back home with the kids. He's still working with the railroad. Obviously, he's gone a lot. And while he's gone, he decides he's going to cheat on his wife. Like, a lot. Or as he referred to it as tomcatting. So he's going...
Is that a 4th job? Being trifling, is that a 4th? We're going to count that as a 4th job. All right, we have family chef, army, railroad, trifling. Trifling, good for nothing type of brother. The question is, will I remember all this by the end of this video? This is a long video.
All over the country, just slinging, which is foreshadowing at its
Slinging
finest.
what?
Not great, but that's what happened. And it also gets...
Oh, cock. I get it. Slinging cock. Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken. I got that. I'm proud of myself.
Worse. He also got fired from different jobs at different railroads a lot. Sometimes he was working for the railroad. Sometimes he was like a traveling door-to-door salesman. He just kept bouncing from job to job to job.
Is that another job? Family chef, army, railroad, cockslinger. I can't believe I just said that. Door-to-door salesman. We're at 5 jobs and we're freaking 4 minutes into this video.
Because he had a humongous anger problem and was always getting in fistfights and beating the shit out of people.
That is correct. The medulla oblongata.
Mama
The medulla oblongata is where anger,
this-
jealousy, and aggression.
What movie is this?
After a while, his wife Josephine, understandably so, is fed up with his shit, and she decides while he's on the
What
road,
movie is
she's gonna
that?
leave him. He's lost his job too many times. He's cheating on her. She's out. She gives up the house. She sells all the furniture. She takes the kids and moves back home with her parents.
Good
and
for
Harland
her.
is awkwardly pissed off about the
He's
furniture.
distraught.
Like, he's mad about the kids too, but he's
furniture?
very upset about the furniture for some reason. Like, in his autobiography, he says, and I quote, "That hurt me.
I'm sorry, there's an autobiography? Do I need to read it? Someone send it to me on Audible. I swear to you, I'll listen to it. My drives to our homeschool co-op every Tuesday are 45 minutes. I will listen to it. I promise you. Is there a movie? Because already we're 5 jobs in, cheating, scandal, outrage, temper. It's giving movie.
Furniture for some reason. Like, in his autobiography, he says, and I quote, "That hurt me. I figured she didn't have any right to take my children or give away my furniture." He is equally as concerned about the furniture as he is about the kids, which I don't understand, but whatever. And it's probably because the furniture is gone. She gave it away. There's nothing he can ever do
I thought
to
you
get
said
his
she
precious
sold
furniture
it.
back. The kids, on the other hand, she still has the kids. They're at Grandma and Grandpa's house living with Josephine. He could still do something about that. So, like a rational adult, he decides he's going to go to court and fight for custody of his kids. No, I'm just kidding. He concocts a plan where he's going to go wait in the woods outside of Grandma and Grandpa's house, and he's going to kidnap the kids.
No. Although I
Didn't consider it rightly kidnapping since they was mine. So he heads over to Grandma and Grandpa's house, hiding in the woods in a pile of leaves, waiting for the kids to come outside to play. He's then going to snatch up the kids, take them to the train station, and bounce. This is the early 1900s. They're never going to catch him. So he's out in the woods, laying in this pile of leaves, waiting for the kids to come out to play, and he's just waiting, and he's waiting, and then eventually the sun comes up. It's Kentucky. It's summertime. It starts getting hot. He starts getting sweaty. There's flies buzzing around, and after hours of waiting, the kids still haven't come out. He's like, okay, this isn't going to fucking work. So he decides he's just going to go up to the door and knock. Goes up to the door, knocks on the door. His father-in-law answers the door and just says, "Howdy, Harlan," and invites him in because, you know, it's the father of his children. Why wouldn't you do that? He has no idea the guy was just planning to kidnap his grandkids. Harlan, his father, and Josephine then proceed to sit down in the living room and have awkward small talk for a little while. And he, like, just gets up eventually and is like, I guess I'm gonna go. And Josephine is like, where are you going? And he's like, I found a new job in Illinois working for the rail company. I'm gonna head out there. And she goes, no, I think you better stay with me. And that was it. They stayed married for another 37 years. Now he's got his family back, I guess.
What in the soap opera? I need time to process. Josephine, I was rooting for you, girl. This man has slung his willy all over town. So much so that you packed up, sold the furniture, left, and moved in with your parents. He was planning to, which you don't know, but he was planning to kidnap your kids. And you took him back. JoJo, I was rooting for you, girl. I was rooting for you, girl. Girl. Huh? She just said, no, you're going to stay here. Girl, you deserve him. You deserve him. And whatever
that
he's
was
coming
it. They
with.
stayed married for another 37 years. Now he's got his family back, I guess.
37.
Okay.
37.
You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me.
Absolutely
Right.
zero life lessons learned. Keeps cussing, keeps fighting, keeps cheating on his wife, goes back to working for the railroad. Eventually, he decides he wants to better himself. He wants to get a better career, make more money for his family, the whole 9 yards. So he starts studying to become a lawyer via correspondence, basically taking college classes through the mail. Think of it as like antique version of online schooling. That's what.
That sounds like Kim Kardashian to me. How she got her law degree and failed the bar. Shout out to her, because 6 years is crazy. But what do you mean you became a lawyer through the mail? Huh? All right. Can I even remember the first job? Household cook. Army. Railroad. Trifling cheater. Door-to-door salesman, lawyer. We're at 6. Did I get that right? Y'all, I'm not. I will fail this by the end of this video. Lawyer. We're at 6 jobs. 6 jobs. I didn't say professions. I said jobs. Responsibilities.
Taking college classes through the mail. Think of it as like antique version of online schooling. That's what he does. Winds up studying to become a lawyer through correspondence.
He became a lawyer.
And becomes a lawyer. Does that for a little while, has a pretty successful law career spooling up, and then one day, in open court, his temper gets the better of him.
A medulla oblongata.
We don't know the exact context of what happened, but every account of what happened has a chair involved. Some accounts say that his own client attacked him with a chair. Some accounts say it was the other way around and he beat the shit out of his client with a chair. Either way, he
Like
turned
in
the
the
open
courtroom?
courtroom into a WWE match.
What the hell?
Because of this, he obviously loses his law license and goes
Disbarred. Was there a bar back then? Did they even have the bar back then? Or did you just become a lawyer through the mail? Y'all, should I get Botox? It's getting bad. It's giving. I mean, I need my expressions, you know, but like, that is a lot of expression. Squirrel, sorry. This is nuts. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Because of this, he obviously loses his law license and goes back to job hopping. So he's a door-to-door salesman for insurance. And then after that, he decides he wants to be an entrepreneur. So he spools up an illegal ferrying operation across the Ohio River. The police eventually put a kibosh to that. So then he goes to work for Michelin Tire, being a tire salesman. And finally...
Tire salesman. All right, let's see if I got this. Hold on. Ferrying like shipping things, ferrying? Like from one place to another across the water? Okay, Jesus Christ. Family chef. Army. Piece of adulterer. Railroad. Door-to-door salesman. Lawyer. I've already forgotten. Farrier. I forgot that fast the last one.
To that, so then he goes to work for Michelin Tire.
Tire salesman. How did we get here?
Being a tire salesman. And finally, that goes good. That's going great. The
That
dude
goes
can
good.
sell
Okay.
tires like a
Jesus. This
motherfucker.
is like
He works
the
his way up from
SAT.
being a salesman to like the regional director for the entire tri-state area that he's in. And he's like one of the big wigs at Michelin Tire. But then karma finally catches up to him and we kick off the lifelong saga of karma desperately trying to put Harlan Sanders, this madman, in his
In the
place.
ground?
And Harlan
Oh.
Sanders just adamantly refusing. One day he's driving his Model T with Michelin tires across the bridge and the fucking bridge collapses, totaling his car. And at this point in time, he doesn't have enough money to buy a new car, so Michelin Tires fires him because you can't work
I'm sorry, it totaled the car and not his body? And wait, Michelin Tires fired him for the bridge collapsing underneath him?
And at this point in time, he doesn't have enough money to buy a new car, so Michelin
I'm
Tires
gonna
fires
crash
him because
out.
you can't work for Michelin Tires as a tire salesman if you're not using Michelin tires, which is kind of fucked up, but also like there's
Kinda.
no Amish electricians, so I get it.
Oh, right, because I'm Amish, so I wouldn't know anything about your 69 GTO Judge. 455 big block,
What
Ram
movie
Air,
is this?
411 Posse, something like that? Weird, that thing must have fallen straight from space. Well, good luck with your future ride, spaceman.
So he takes what money he does have and he starts a acetylene lamp business. Gotta remember this is like 1820.
What?
So he takes what money he does have and he starts a acetylene lamp business. Gotta remember.
A settling lamp business. Okay, Jesus Christ. Let's add on. I feel like I should be able to group entrepreneur together, but that would be cheating. Family cook. Army. Railroad. Cheater. Door-to-door salesman. Door-to-door salesman. Lawyer. I'm at 6. Lawyer. Michelin tire salesperson.
Good luck with your future ride, spaceman.
So he takes what money he does have and he starts a acetylene lamp
Settling lamp business, but I forgot one because we should be on 9. I'm only on 8. Shit.
business. Gotta remember this is like 1820s. Not everybody has electricity in their house with light bulbs, so people are using these little gas lamps to, you know, put on the table to be able to see at night. He starts a business making those. Very quickly, electricity becomes readily available, puts him out of
And he's
business.
out.
Karma is just trying to shut this guy down. So he decides, all right, I'm gonna have to go to the next big town over. I'm gonna have to go get a job, don't have a car, I'm broke. So he hitchhikes to Louisville, Kentucky, and the first car to pick him up tells him his life story, and the guy's like, I actually own a gas station and I'm looking for somebody to run it for me. You think you can do it? And
10th
Harlan
job.
Sanders is like, sure, why not?
10th
So he
job.
takes over this gas station.
I'm done trying to rattle these off to y'all. I'm done. I want y'all to know I'm done. There might be cup water in this cup. I've said all I needed to say.
Starts running it. Somewhere along the line, he comes up with the idea of like, hey, I could be more competitive and I could get all the business from all the truckers if I start selling food at my gas station. So he already
Yeah,
likes
I'm done.
cooking food,
I'm
and
out.
that's what he does. He starts making
I'm out at
food,
10.
selling it at his gas station, and then he gets all the trucker business as well. The gas station is outrageously successful. Karma kicks in again. The Great Depression happens, shuts this small gas station down, puts him out of business.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
From here, Shell Oil Company reaches out to him and is like, hey, we knew you were super
Shell?
successful at running this other gas station in the small town in Kentucky. We have another gas station that's right on the main highway that's going to be able to stay open during the Great Depression because it gets all this traffic from the highway. We want you to run it. Harlan Sanders takes the job. So he moves out to Corbin, Kentucky, where this gas station is, and this place is super ghetto. It's literally nicknamed Hell's Half Acre. You gotta remember, this is a Great Depression.
I don't know. I don't know. But something happens when like non-black people say the word ghetto. It gives me the giggle guts. I giggle. I giggle. I don't care how you feel about it. I giggle. It's funny.
This is super ghetto. It's literally nicknamed Hell's Half Acre. You gotta remember, this is the Great Depression. Everybody's poor. Poor people commit crime to feed their kids. So you got that going on. On top of that, you've got prohibition. This is right by the highway. All the bootleggers are running their booze through this area. There's all kinds of crime. So he takes over this gas station, starts selling gas, starts selling food, but he needs people to know that there's food around. So he starts putting up signs and everything saying like, hey, we're a gas station that also serves food. This is Kentucky in like 1930,
This
whatever
is
the
too
fuck.
much.
And people just love shooting at signs, I guess. And it gets so bad that you can't even read the signs because there's so many bullet holes in them. So he comes up with an alternative idea of he goes to all of the farmers in like a 50-mile radius and pays them to be able to paint a big advertisement on the side of their barn because people aren't going to be shooting at a farmer's barn because they could hit somebody or hit an animal.
I mean, in the ghetto, they might. They might in the ghetto. This is a lot. Like, this is so much that, like, you can't make this type of stuff up. Like, you just can't. You can't make it up.
Or a farmer's gonna come out with a shotgun and fucking shoot you back. And it's a brilliant idea, and it's working really, really good. And it starts cutting into the other rival gas station's business, and that gas station is owned by a guy by a name of Matt Stewart, and he's pissed off about it. So he goes around and starts painting over Harlan's barn signs. Harlan
Not
finds
good.
out about this, so like
Not
an adult
good.
with a cool, rational head, goes over to Stewart's gas station and very politely tells him to stop or, and I quote,
This is sarcasm.
I'll blow your fucking head off.
Wow.
Okay, Harlan Sanders is not going to tolerate
What
people
movie
messing
is
with
that?
his money.
Is that Is Bobby Boucher a movie or is it a character in a movie? Is that Bobby Boucher? Hold on. Bobby Boo. Is Bobby Boucher a movie? Is this Bobby Boucher, you guys? Oh, the Water Boy. Is this the Water Boy? Is this the Water Boy? I think this is the Water Boy. Let me type in Colonel Sanders, Bobby Boucher. It is the Water Boy. I know. I mean, I was close. And that, you guys, right there. Hold on.
And I quote, I'll blow your fucking head
That's
off.
crazy.
Wow.
Okay, Harlan Sanders is not going to tolerate people messing with his money.
Playing with my money.
Big Worm. That's Big Worm from Friday. And Craig and Dede owed him money. And Craig and Dede almost died. Okay.
It's like playing with my emotions.
A couple weeks later,
Oh! Ain't no way I just did that. Ain't this new feature on YouTube, I swear to y'all, I hate it. The thing pops
thought about
up.
this. So,
Okay.
like an adult with a cool, rational head, goes over to Stewart's gas station and
This is unhinged. This reaction has become unhinged. I had this much cut water and now I can't react. Good God.
very politely tells him to stop or, and I quote, I'll blow your fucking head off.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
Harlan
crazy.
Sanders is not going to tolerate people messing with his money.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
A couple weeks later, Harlan's got a big day. Some Shell oil executives, 2 of them, are coming to town to have a meeting with Harlan about how well his gas station is performing. And while they're sitting in the gas station having a meeting, talking about how great of a job Harlan's doing, one of the employees comes in and lets him know, hey, Matt Stewart is out on the side of the road right now painting over one of your advertisements on farmer so-and-so's barn.
Didn't
At
he
which
just
point,
warn you?
Harlan says, I told that motherfucker what I was going to do, so he grabs his gun. The Shell oil executives also grab guns, and they go out and confront Matt Stewart. As soon as they get out of the car, Matt Stewart draws a gun, fires at them, killing one of the Shell oil executives, to which Harlan Sanders then shoots him in the shoulder, drops him on the ground, disarms him, and waits for the police to come arrest him. Harlan is found innocent because it was self-defense, and Matt Stewart now gets convicted of murder and would later be assassinated in prison.
Something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
No.
And from here, Harlan Sanders is not shy about using a firearm to get his way. There's another account where
my
bootleggers were
gosh.
trying to siphon gas out of his pumps in the middle of the night, and he runs out in nothing but his...
Okay, original tweet. People who sleep naked, do y'all ever think about emergencies? What if someone breaks in? Ronnie Adkins, I don't know who that is, says there are 2 types of men. those who fear having to fight a home intruder naked, and those who intend to. Just weenus, just flying all over the place while you're fighting a home intruder. That's odd. Y'all dream of that? Y'all are out here prepared for that? Just a weenus fight? Just dingling? Just, okay.
Underwear and confronts them and holds them at gunpoint until the sheriff shows up to arrest them. This goes on for a while. Very successful gas station. Eventually, Harlan ends up owning the gas station himself, at which point he kicks it into overdrive. Now,
Y'all, we are on career number 12. Let me tell you something about serial, now I can't even say serial entrepreneurs, but people who are like chameleons in career. I feel like I kind of relate to Colonel Sanders in this way. It's like, first of all, I love a tequila and I love a curse word. I also love Jesus more than anything. But like I have had several different jobs, and like jobs that like you should have some training or experience in. I have been able to step into these jobs without any of that. Such a blessing. And I think so much of that is charm, charisma, personality. And it feels like the Colonel has that. And also a temper, which I've also wielded. I've wielded a temper. I might have thrown a chair or two in my life. I might have punched somebody in their face a time or two. I'm redeemed. I am no longer that person. She is not me. But like those type of people like the Colonel and I, it's such a specific personality that I feel like if you're not that type of personality, you can't understand it. But for me, I totally relate to this, where he can just like step into something and be good at it. And when it doesn't work out, he can pivot to something else. Like I totally can relate to that. Okay. Like to know me is to know I've talked about a little bit here on the channel. Like I have done like every kind of job you could ever think of. It's wild. And been successful at them. And they've ended and another door is open that I would never have thought I would step into. So I'd say all that to say like, hey, work ethic, do what you got to do. Okay. Shout out to you, Colonel.
Harlan ends up owning the gas station himself, at which point he kicks it into overdrive. Now he's going around tearing down signs from the competition and putting up his own signs instead. The exact thing that he was pissed off at doing, but now he's going to do it to other people. And then, just like what happened with him, one of the other rival gas station owners runs out to confront him, at which point he pulls out a gun and tells them to get back in their fucking car. And they do.
A medulla.
Oblongata.
So as you can see, through a combination of great food and gun violence, Harlan Sanders becomes the most successful gas station in the area, which is the most southern thing that's ever happened, ever. And by 1939, he's making more money from food than he is from selling gas, so he decides he's just gonna sell more food and quit selling gas, and he opens up a 140-seat restaurant and then eventually expands that business to have a motel right next door as well. Now, the problem he runs into here is being able to cook food.
We went from 12 to 15. I mean, 15, like, honestly, this is too much.
At the standard that he likes to cook food at, in the quantity that this restaurant is now demanding. And the big problem he has is with the fried chicken. Everybody loves his fried chicken. He's got a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. Everybody loves it. But the problem is real fried chicken is cooked in boiling grease on a skillet over the stove, and you just can't cook it very fast. It takes too long. You can't make bulk batches, and the wait times at the restaurant is just taking forever. So he develops a way to cook fried chicken inside.
Okay, Nick, I have a qualm, and this is, I think this is unprecedented. I've never like had a qualm with you, but how do we go from him being 16, getting into the army illegally, to now this man has silver hair? Like how old? I wish we had age timestamps for every like career, because like we literally, the last time we saw him was a photo of him when he was a wee little baby, and now he's not. I'm a little baby. He's a literally silver-haired colonel in all white. Like I just like, how did this happen?
Pressure cooker, which still makes it taste way better than if you deep fry it. And this takes the cook time on his fried chicken from like 30 plus minutes down to 7 or 8 minutes. So he's got that figured out. Things are going great. He's got his new restaurant, his new motel right in 1939. And then karma steps in to try to shut him down again. 1939, World War II kicks off for America, and all of a sudden, America is now
Great
rationing
Depression?
rubber
Great
and
Depression.
gas,
Great
meaning less
Depression.
people are traveling, and his entire business is built right on the highway and relies on highway travelers, so he's not making enough money. But Harlan Sanders, not taking no for an answer, refuses to quit, keeps running his motel and his restaurant business, but also takes a job in Tennessee, which is nearby, at a place called Oak Ridge, because the government has thrown up some new facility where they're making something and they need somebody to come in and run all the cafeterias to feed the workers, and he oversees the cooking of 36,000 meals.
What do you mean they're running something? What's the something? Should I know the answer to this? What's the something? What do you mean the government's running something? What? Should I know what this? I'm so stressed out. What does that mean? Okay. All right.
A day to feed all of these people working at this secret government facility. Does that through the rest of World War II. When World War II ends, that job kind of comes to an end. They no longer need this factory for whatever reason. So he goes back to his hotel and restaurant, which everything's fine now because they're no longer rationing gas and tires and people are traveling again. And later we would find out that the Oak Ridge facility in Tennessee is where they refined all the plutonium for the Manhattan Project, which we used to nuke Japan, which makes it
Okay, I don't know anything about that, but that looked like a prison to me. That looks like that's not a prison? They were making nuke weapons? That's not a prison. That looks like a prison. That's not a prison? I just want to be clear. That's not a prison. Okay.
They refined all the plutonium for the Manhattan Project, which we used to nuke Japan, which makes it kind of awkward that it's a Christmas tradition in Japan to order KFC, but whatever. So comes back home, starts running his restaurant and hotel full time, hires a new female employee, starts having an affair on his wife with her. Her name is Claudine Price. Shortly after that affair, he divorces his wife, marries her instead in 1947. Then in 1952, he meets another wealthy restaurant owner from Salt Lake City, Utah by the name of Pete Harmon.
So bad.
Pete Harmon tries his fried chicken and he's like, holy shit, this stuff is awesome. Can I franchise this? I'll buy the secret blend of herbs and spices from you. You don't got to give me the secret. I'll just buy it straight from you. Show me how to do this with a pressure cooker, and I want to sell it in my restaurants in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I'll give you 4 cents for every piece of chicken that we sell.
I mean, I'm still willing to learn how to fry chicken in a pressure cooker. Still willing. Anyone? Anyone. I have a pressure cooker, so I'm willing to learn. But also, let's be clear. All of y'all out there that act like y'all are too good for KFC, KFC is delicious. Original or crispy. And also, I have a bone to pick because the green beans apparently are only sold in the South. Because when I moved up here to Western New York, they're not on the menu. And when I say I was devastated, y'all, I should have checked on me. I was not well. But the flavor at KFC, I don't know what those 11 herbs and spices are, but I'm sure it's on Google AI something now, but don't tell me. I want it to be a secret. I want to pull into the drive-thru, get my chicken, and keep it moving. And if you feel like you're too good for KFC or any drive-thru, you're in the wrong place. Wrong team, buddy.
Well, Colonel Sanders is like, sure, why not? So that's what happens. Pete Harmon starts selling Sanders chicken in his restaurants, and he needs to brand it somehow. So he's from a different part of the country, so he names it Kentucky Fried Chicken and gives it the slogan, finger licking good. And
wait, so the Colonel didn't name it Kentucky Fried Chicken, somebody else did? And it is finger licking good.
Harlan doesn't really see the potential in it. He just kind of treats it as passive revenue that this guy's mailing him a check every month and just keeps running his restaurant and motel. And then his chicken becomes kind of famous in the area. It's getting some notoriety. And the governor of Kentucky makes him a Kentucky colonel, which is like this honorary status in the state of Kentucky. And he's like, cool. That's great, whatever. So now he's Colonel Sanders. And then around the same time, he also started a side business where he was a midwife. I told you the story was weird. Yeah, he's just going around.
He was a midwife? How? Who? I mean, the man was apparently running amok. He was, the captain of meow. He was in there, but what qualified him to be A midwife? Do y'all know what a midwife does? This man, who qualified him? I'm like, who? I mean, I understand that he was visiting a lot of kitty cats based off of his track record, but like, unless he thought these children belonged to him, like, I just like, a midwife, like, all right, I think we're on 14. I think we're on career 14. A midwife is insane. Never saw it coming.
He was a midwife.
No,
I
Nick,
told
you're
you the
lying.
story was weird. Yeah, he's just going around rural Kentucky as fucking Colonel Sanders, the chicken guy, helping people deliver babies. We don't know much about it other than the fact that it happened and he delivered at least 8 kids, and one of them ended up getting named after him. When he was later interviewed and asked, like, how did you become a midwife? What training do you have? How did you even know how to do this? He simply replied, and I quote, "Oh, I know a little about it." Apparently, if you've seen enough vaginas, you just kind of know what you're doing, I guess. You can put stuff in one, you can pull stuff out of one. That makes sense, right? I guess.
Checks out.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I told y'all. I'm like, maybe he just knows
Yes,
enough.
you can put stuff in
He
one,
knows
you
how to
can pull stuff
navigate.
out of one. That makes sense, right? I guess.
Checks out.
One of his personal acquaintances later in life actually joked that he got involved in being a midwife because he was concerned that the kids were his. Which brings me to his next side gig that he started after being a midwife, which was being a vampire hunter. No, I'm just kidding, but the fact that you believe me for a second speaks volumes about this guy. Buh! Are you going to talk about his pet crow? Buh! God, fine. Okay, look,
Pet crow?
Colonel Sanders has plenty of character flaws.
Like a bird?
However, there is a multiple humongous myths on the internet that he was like a prolific racist, ranging from he was a member of the KKK, which is not true, to he stole the secret blend of herbs and spices from his
I didn't see that one coming. Pimp, maybe, but this I did not see coming.
KK, which is not true, to he stole the secret blend of herbs and spices from his house servant when he was a child, which also isn't true. The dude grew up extremely poor. He didn't have servants in his house in the 1800s. And then there's the myth that he had a pet crow in his original restaurant, and the pet crow's name was Jim. Get it? Jim Crow in the South in the 1950s. No, that
Somebody's talking about me. My ears itching. A pet named Jim Crow is insane. Wow, my
crow's name was Jim. Get it? Jim Crow in the South in the 1950s. No, that never happened. I have searched and scoured. There is no historical evidence to actually prove this. There's just a bunch of blog posts dating back to the early 2000s that insinuate this shit. That's where it all started from. I'm 99% sure. If on the off chance you have some historical evidence, let me know in the comments down below. I'll pin the comment if I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it. Colonel Sanders, deeply
believe you,
flawed,
Nick.
cheats on his wife, anger issues, not some
racist.
crazy prolific racist, however. But that's not going to stop karma from coming from him. So his restaurant and motel both burned down to the ground. Colonel Sanders, not taking no for an answer, rebuilds the restaurant, rebuilds the motel. Shortly after that, it burns down to the ground again. Colonel Sanders and karma are now in a shootout. So he rebuilds the business a second time, and then the government comes in and reroutes the highway and completely shuts him out.
Colonel, let me ask you a question. At what point do you just throw in the towel? Was it arson? Was it arson? 2 fire tragedies and a reroute? Take me to the king. I'm done. Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where are you? Name that song. Name it, name it, name it.
That's it. Game over. He goes out of business. He is 65 years old, and his only income is his Social Security check, and that's just not enough. And Colonel Sanders...
Wait, Nick. You said he was making, what was it, 4 cents a chicken leg or something like that? That's passive income. Why are we not counting that? I heard it. Y'all heard it. What happened to that?
And his only income is his Social Security
Something's
check,
not right.
and that's just not enough. And Colonel Sanders is like, not taking no for an answer. So he takes his pressure cooker and his secret blend of herbs and spices, throws it in the trunk. Claudine hops in the car with him, and he just goes from town to
Look at
town
her.
to
What a
failing
cutie. Look at that
restaurant to
outfit.
failing restaurant, and is like, hey, Would you like to be a KFC franchise, a Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise? My chicken is so good, it will save your failing restaurant. And for the next 5 years, at 65 years old through 70 years old, he travels the country getting people to franchise his chicken. Him and his wife are literally sleeping in their car, and he's 65 to 70 years old the entire time. But during that 5 years, they get 200 people to franchise their chicken. 3 years after that, he's up to 600. Other things that happened during this time period.
600?
Him and Claudine go out to breakfast one morning at a diner while they're on the road trying to get chicken franchises, and he orders some eggs. The eggs roll up. They're not cooked right. He sends the eggs back. The chef says the eggs are cooked right and sends them back to him.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Colonel Sanders then proceeds to pick up the eggs, get out of the booth, walk into the diner's kitchen, and throw the eggs at the chef, at which point the chef rushes him with a kitchen knife, and Colonel Sanders, at the age of somewhere between 65 and 70, fends him off with a bar stool.
Not he evaded being shanked, and he threw another chair.
Sanders, at the age of somewhere between 65 and 70, fends him off with a bar stool.
Medulla oblongata.
Another thing that happens during this time period is he's going to all these failing restaurants, and essentially they're just buying the chicken. They're not officially becoming KFCs yet. It's still mom and pop's diner, but they also sell Kentucky Fried Chicken there. And some of these restaurants are still failing despite the fact they're now serving Kentucky Fried Chicken. So he hires a guy to help these restaurants out, to go in there and show them how to run a restaurant up to the Colonel's standard to help these businesses thrive. So that guy goes in there, fixes a bunch of KFCs, makes some profitable businesses. Colonel Sanders pays him a bunch of money. He turns around and uses that money to start his own chain of restaurants selling burgers, and that guy's name was Dave Thomas, and he named his businesses. Colonel Sanders pays him a bunch of money. He turns around and uses that money to start his own chain of restaurants selling burgers, and that guy's name was Dave Thomas, and he named his burger chain after his daughter, Wendy.
Y'all, I have the craziest story to tell you.
Name was Dave Thomas, and he named his burger chain.
It's not so crazy, but over the Christmas holiday, my family and I went to Niagara Falls, but on the Canadian side. So we crossed the border. We drove over to the border and went to the Canadian side. And on, I can't remember the name of this street. There's a street, and it looks like Vegas for kids. Dang, I'm like drawing a blank. I can't remember the name of the street. But it's like up a hill or whatever. And there's a Wendy's right at like the top of the hill. And we were hungry, but we had dinner in a couple hours. So we went into the Wendy's. And in the Wendy's, it's like a really good like area of windows where you can see the falls. Anyway, we go into Wendy's. The lady that takes our order, it has red hair and she has pigtails. And we were all like, is she the mascot? It was wild. Has nothing to do with this story, but also just the synchronicity of it kind of just threw me for a loop. Anyway, this is crazy. This is crazy. So KFC and Wendy's, who are typically next to each other, you can't tell me where there's a KFC, there's not a Wendy's within walking distance. They have some type of cousinship. That's crazy.
After his daughter, Wendy.
My ear, somebody's talking about me.
I told you it's a weird story, okay? You were warned.
That's
now, this
wild.
is also the same time period where he starts really leaning into the Colonel Sanders persona that we know today. He starts marketing himself as Colonel Sanders. People start calling him and knowing him as Colonel Sanders. This is when he started wearing the white suit that we all know today, because his kitchens and KFCs were so cleanly that you could work in the back of the kitchen and not get food product all over you.
That's
this
good
is
marketing.
when he started dyeing his mustache and goatee all white and
Dyeing
kind of
it?
like amping up the Southern accent and the Southern gentleman persona.
He
Then the
was
business model
dyeing
kind of
it?
shifts from just franchising the chicken itself and letting these random restaurants serve KFC to having a restaurant that was just what we know as today, a KFC, a place that just sells fried chicken. Keeps growing the company, has a ton of locations, and by 1964, he is 74 years old, and it's finally time for him to retire. People are wanting to buy the company. He doesn't want to sell the company because he knows they're going to fuck up the quality of his food. They're going to ruin it. He doesn't want to do it, but his family pressures him into it, he finally relents and sells KFC for $2 million plus a deal to be a lifelong brand ambassador for $40,000 to $80,000 per year. Shortly after he sells the company goes public. As soon as they go public, now the company is more concerned about making a return investment for their shareholders than they are about putting out quality food. So they go in and just completely ruin the quality, just like he was concerned with. They quit using the pressure cookers and start using deep fryers. They go away from his original recipe and add extra.
So I'm not eating pressure cooked chicken. I love KFC, and if you shun KFC, shame on you. Original or crispy, okay? That's upsetting. I wonder, it probably was so good, the original recipe.
Extra crispy, which he was furious about and said was nothing more than a fried dough ball on top of a piece of chicken. And then the final straw was when they changed the recipe to his gravy. He was absolutely furious. He went inside of a KFC, tasted this gravy for the first time, threw it on the floor, and said it was nothing more than wallpaper paste. They just mixed tap water and a bunch of starch together and called it gravy.
I'm really sorry.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. That gravy is the mashed potatoes and the gravy made out of paste and water. I'll go with paste. Paste is good. But the chicken, I don't know what it tasted like before, but now I'm going to pull up to a KFC. Them green beans, I'm going to pull up to a KFC in the South.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm really sorry too.
Colonel Sanders then proceeds to spend the rest of his life until he's 90 years old talking so much shit about KFC ruining his recipes, they had to sue him to get him to stop. He was a royal pain in the ass for KFC until he passed away from pneumonia at the age of 90. And that is the story of Colonel Sanders. Yes, he was real. Yes, all of that is true. Is he a good role model? Probably not, but you have to admire his ability to push through adversity and not take no for an answer. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon, go check out Pepperbox. Links for all those are over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
What's next? What's next?
This started as a KFC video. It just turned into the Colonel Sanders video.
I mean, KFC is Colonel Sanders, if you ask me. They are one and the same, synonymous, if you will. I'll never eat KFC the same again. All right, so many of you wanted this. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy New Year again, and go and have the day you deserve. Britt out.